Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one, one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah.
Here we go, come on.
Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah,
Say hello to somebody around you. He's on a roll today. Here we go.
Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Hey, hey, hey.
All right. Everyone, please remain standing as we celebrate the 4th of July and America's birthday. We want to welcome Barry Minifield to sing America the Beautiful for us. Go ahead, Barry.
Oh, beautiful, for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountains, majesties above the fruited plain. America, America, you know, God done shed his grace on thee. He crowned thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea. Brotherhood with brotherhood from sea to shining sea.
Thank you, Barry.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I really don't like following that. It's just not right. Well, good morning, Center for Spiritual Living, Palm Desert. How is everybody? All right. Woo! I didn't have to ask a second time. Excellent. Well, I welcome you to our services today. Very special day for all of us, and I'm so grateful that we are all here in our spiritual community to celebrate our oneness and the spirit that dwells within all beings. So thank you for being here today, and I thank those of you that are coming through us live stream. We're grateful you're joining us as well. So before we get started, let's say our mission and our vision statement. So just join with me as we say, we are a positive faith community that accepts all religions. Our vision is spiritual awakening and personal growth in a world that works for everyone. Our mission is to help individuals discover the spiritual tools and inner power that has the ability to transform lives and make the world a better place, and so it is. Woo! All right. Okay, let's do announcements. This week, Reverend Laura will not be having her Quantum Think class, her book study class, because it's the 4th of July and you're all going to be barbecuing, so we're not going to show up. She will be continuing, though, the next week. I think she has plans to just keep doing her book study throughout the summer. Next. Oh, and Paul Heater, our practitioner Paul Heater, has his midweek healing service this week in the Ohm Room. And he wanted me to tell you that if you just want to be in some healing energy, if there's something that you want to shift in consciousness about, then join him, because he does a beautiful service. It's soft, it's meditative, and it is transformative. And this week he told me that he's going to be his theme actually will be around where are we now that we're halfway through the year. So it's going to be a beautiful service, and I encourage that you join him. It's lovely. Next, I am co-teaching a class with Michael Kukuru, but I'm going to let him talk about it because it's about his book.
Thank you, Dale. And welcome. And I like to see the word welcome as meaning to come together in wellness. So welcome. And I'm glad we're coming together today here in consciousness and oneness and light. Now, Ernest Holmes used to say that he would never teach a retreat. He never did teach a retreat. He never would teach a retreat because he only taught advances. So the book Heartlight, which I wrote, it's available at the Rainbow Table and the sign-up sheet for the class, is about moving from illusion to illumination into that light of consciousness. And I like to see the word light as meaning love is God's healing truth. Now, the number one question I get is, how did this book come to be? And what I share is a principle of science of mind, that as we believe, so we receive, and so we achieve. I'll tell a short story here about a husband and wife. They look out the window and a new neighbor's moved in. And the next morning, the new neighbor puts out laundry on the line, and the woman says, boy, someone hasn't done laundry and dried it on the line in a long time, but look how dingy it is. It's yellow, and it's dingy, and it's dull. This goes on for a week or two, and the woman says, I wish someone would tell her to use a different laundry detergent, do her laundry a different way. Well, the next morning she gets up, and the neighbor's laundry is bright and white and shining. And she says, finally, that woman woke up to the truth that there was a better way to do her laundry. And her husband says, honey, I love you, but I cleaned our kitchen window. So that's what our class will be about. Dale and I will be teaching that class. We will be going into consciousness, moving beyond the sandbox of our conditions into the starlight of consciousness and possibility. So we're going to be transcending our conditions into a consciousness of oneness and light and illumination. So I hope you'll join us. It'll be Thursday night, 6:30 to 8:30 for 8 weeks. You can come to one class or all class. It is a love offering basis. Again, a sign-up sheet at the Rainbow Table on the patio, and the book is available there. We would love to see you there. We will know you will be there in consciousness, if not in physical form, but in physical form, we will go into conscious form. So enjoy. We hope to see you there. And again, welcome.
Yay. Thank you. We're going to have fun. We're going to just have fun. Okay, Soul Sisters, the monthly Soul Sisters meeting is this Thursday, 6:30 to 8:30, and this is our spiritual soul group for women that get together and do some nice bonding, and that will be in the Ohm Room, and Reverend Laura leads that up. And next, the Rainbow Alliance, they always have cool things going on. For August, on August 3rd, they have a trip to the Huntington, and they're going to be going down there. It's in Pasadena, and they're going to be leaving the center at 8:30 a.m., going out there, and I understand that Ross is going to be your tour guide, so it's going to be a very special time, and you're going to enjoy just this beautiful, it's a garden and museum. Oh, you're just going to have a lovely time, and there's always great bonding and fun that happens. And I've been told, too, that they aren't providing lunch, but there's going to be lots of lunch venues, so it's going to be a whole day of fun, and they'll return you back to the center around 5:30 p.m. So if you're interested in signing up or getting more information, they have their table out on the patio, and you can sign up there. And it's only $45. They have I don't know where you guys get your prices from. It's great. I still am in shock. We're already doing the book bag drive for the Coachella Valley Rescue Mission. So if you have a desire to just help those kids that are in need, get book bags, pencils, crayons, all that stuff that kids need for school, go ahead and get what you can and drop it off here. We have a box that's in the front of the sanctuary, and you guys always show up so well to give in those capacities, so we thank you for that. And next, we still have space available for our spiritual pilgrimage to New Zealand and Australia, sponsored by Spirit Tours. So if you are interested or you are kind of on the fence, you can talk to Elizabeth or Julie, and they'll give you more information so you can make your decision. But it's getting kind of close, so it's time to figure out if you want to go or not. And next, okay, well, the office is closed on Tuesday, the 4th of July, of course. You're not going to want to go to the office anyways. You're going to be busy. Okay, the reason why I'm up here and Reverend Laura is not is because her first granddaughter was born on Friday. Woo! And you know, I don't know who looks more beautiful, the baby or Reverend Laura. I've never seen her look like that before. It's amazing. So that's Olivia Rose. I'm sure she will be making an appearance at our center very soon. So that's, our heart goes out to the whole family in such joy. And I guess that's it for me. I'm going to turn the mic over to Jerry Lynn to introduce our guest artist again.
Thank you, Dale. Good morning, everybody. Happy Sunday. Happy pre-Independence Day. And we're so excited to have this gentleman back with us. If you're a local, you've probably seen him in many different venues in town here. And if you're a fan of The Voice, you probably saw him in season 8. He was a contender in that. One of my dearest friends and an amazing singer. He's an amazing singer. Let me just say that. You already heard that a minute ago. Also today he has 2 CDs for sale. All the music he does today is on this. It's something he and I produced recently. And a collector's item of the song you're going to hear after meditation is called My America. It's a beautiful anthem type patriotic song written by Helen Welchel, who was here today and is going to split the proceeds with the center. Isn't that lovely? Thank you, Helen. Without further ado, please put your hands together for Barry Minifield. Come on out, baby. Gonna do a little James Brown for you.
Right? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and...
Hey! Come on, y'all. Superhighway, coast to coast, easy to get anywhere. On the transcontinental overload, high the wheel, how does it feel?
When there's no destination,
That's too far. Might find out who you are.
living in America.
Station to station,
Living in America.
head to head, across the nation.
Living in America.
Got to have a celebration. Rock my soul. So sad. Many miles
I live in America.
Come on.
I live in America.
How about those shoes?
I live in America. Living in America.
Station to station.
Living in America.
Head, head. Across the nation.
Living in America.
I feel real good. Thank you.
All right,
Barry
Barry.
Minifield, everybody.
Way to go, man. Way to go. And let's hear it for the band and backup singers that do such a great job for us. Wow. Good morning. Guess what? I totally changed the meditation for you today. So there's something totally new going in and coming out. All right? Had a conversation with my husband the other day, and he said, I'm bored. And I'm like, those are fighting words. And you tell me that my church service is bored. So he convinced me that it's time to make a couple changes, so that's exactly what we're going to do, and I kind of feel good about them. So let's dim the lights down a little bit, and I want to have a little conversation first. You know how in the old meditation I used to say, just let's clear our mind and go to that white space and concentrate on your breathing. Well, I want to change that right now. I think all of us are carrying certain things in our mind, some baggage, some mental baggage, some emotional baggage, maybe some feelings of resentment or anger or fear. And so I want you to picture, if you would please, close your eyes and just picture right here in the very front of the sanctuary here, a big basket, just a big wooden basket. And there's going to be like a call in your mind to go up and just start surrendering the things you want to surrender. That doesn't mean you're giving up and letting the other person win. It just means you're done with the fight and something greater needs to take control of this. You're leaving your resentments and your fear and your anger, and you're just putting them away. You're putting them in a little basket. We'll launch them later when you leave. But it's an opportunity now for you to just set them aside and surrender them. I don't think there's one person in this room that doesn't have something they need to surrender, to give up, and not to concede, but just to release yourself from the bondage of a situation. So let's take a deep breath in and exhale. Oh, to Spirit, I surrender. All to Thee I freely give. I will always love and trust You. In Your presence daily live. All to Spirit I surrender. All that's good is wholly mine. In Your presence, in this oneness, through You I am Spirit divine, and I surrender all. I surrender all. All to Thee, my blessed Spirit, I surrender all.
So what a beloved opportunity is to go within. I surrender all. Into that place of oneness, into that place of the heart, into that place of the one mind. place of the divine. As I settle into that secret, sacred place of the Most High. And as I know this for myself, I know that for each of us gathered here, for our live stream, for anyone who hears the sound of my voice as this goes out into the world. And I recognize that the words e pluribus unum, out of many one, that idea that our country was founded, that idea that represents my faith in humanity, my faith in God, my faith in life. I love my neighbor. Love thy neighbor is something that comes through as the face of God. And seeing that in each and every person, seeing the good in each and every person. Do I really love my neighbor? Do I see the expansiveness? Do I see that place of a forgiving God, a place of a God that loves infinitely, no matter what, that allows me to move more freely into the divine expression of who I am? Letting go and releasing of anything that has held me back, any of my smallness, my small ideas that have created the resistance and the barriers that keep me bound in something that does not serve me any longer. So today, right now, in this moment, I recognize and I release and let go of that. From this moment on, I no longer carry those things within me that hold me back from my goodness, from my infiniteness, from my greatness. And I know this to be true. And as I know this for myself, I see and feel it and hear it and express it for each and every person here. And as I offer gratitude for all that helped to support this service, for our volunteers and our staff, for those that greet you in the morning, the concierges, our ushers, for the sound team, for the people who handle our video, who handle all the things for our magnificent band of musicians and our singers, to bring joy and uplift you each and every Sunday morning. And for our beloved practitioners and ministers who are always available to you 365, 24/7. For we have an active and vibrant prayer community here because we know that prayer works. We need only ask, and that shall be given. And today for Dr. Joe, whom is that vessel in which Spirit speaks through and in and as. What a beautiful time this is this morning. So I give thanks. I know this to be true. And for I know God always says yes to whatever it's given. I release my word into law, knowing that it is already done. And if you're in agreement with me, please join by saying, and so it is. Amen.
I surrender all. I surrender all. All to thee, my blessed Spirit. I surrender all. I surrender all. I surrender all to thee, my blessed Spirit. I surrender all. And to all, to thee, my blessed Spirit, I surrender all. take a deep breath in, and please join me. You'll recognize this song. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love. To the deepest kind of love. To the sweetest kind of life. To the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, get ready. Get ready. Get ready, my soul. Let's do that one more time. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, get ready, my soul. Get ready again. Get ready, my soul.
America, my America, you are my home, you are my family. America, my America, where my heart will always be. America, America, my America, you are a gift, a cherished legacy. America, my America, count on me to keep you free. Throughout our history, we've come from near and far, united in our freedom. We are, and to protect life and liberty, legions have died, even more have bled. To honor them, I will pledge to you all our best days are still ahead. America's more than land. It's more than a great idea. It's the home of endless dreams. Opportunity is here. With courage I embrace all that tomorrow brings, and I'll do my part for America and a leader always brings. America, my America, you are my home, you are my family. America, my America, where my heart will always be, where my heart will always be, where my heart will always be.
Barry Minifield. Song by Helen
Beautiful
Wilson.
job, Barry, man. Thank you. Wow. Wow, we've had some music today, yeah? Yeah, let's hear for it. Let's hear it again. Feels really good. All right. Well, I know my meditation worked on some levels because people were crying. So that's always a good sign when people cry. It's like, okay, they're getting that out. So you're welcome to cry a lot. You know me, I'm a crier. I've told you a long time ago, I used to get beat up for crying. Now I get paid to do it. So it's all good. All right, so today we're going to change modes. We're in July now. And July we're going to move into our spiritual value is open communication. We communicate openly with each other in an atmosphere of collaboration and inclusion. You know, we're going to be teaching about communication, and one of the challenges we face with communication, and myself and everyone that I know, is every time that I'm in the middle of something that's, I don't know, some sort of an argument or something, it's because there hasn't been really good, clear communication. It hasn't been authentic. It hasn't come from the heart. And then when you look at how we communicate about finances and relationships and all sorts of things, communication is paramount. And we really, this month is an opportunity for us to look at how we communicate with one another. I like the fact that we're doing this kind of in the day of the July 4th holiday and you know all the America tributes and all that, because it's important because you know we live in America and this is where we are. And there are a lot of things going on in the world where I think a little good, solid communication would really work well, yeah? So, here we go. Today's my talk's the Multicultural America. Here's your affirmation. Let's join together, please. Love is the greatest healing power in the universe. It's the only thing that binds people together in a community of spirit. So it doesn't matter where you are. Love is the greatest healing power in the world. All countries, the entire world works on this healing power, this one healing power. And it's the only thing that binds people together. When you think about it, the one thing that binds us together is this healing power and love. And how do we cultivate more of that in our lives? That's what I'm going to talk about today. So Paul beautifully led right on into my prayer. You must have read my notes. E pluribus unum, which is out of many, one. You know, The strength of the United States of America is in the diversity of its people. And Dr. Ernest Holmes in The Science of Mind talks about the diversity of people. He said, behind all is a unity. Behind everything is a single thing. Through all is diversity. Because look at this room. You know, I told people at the last service, I said, imagine if everyone was the same. Imagine if you had a 100 of me. First I would say, lucky you, but then people would go, oh my God, can you imagine? No. Thank God there's only one of me. Thank God there's only one of you. So behind all of unity, through all is a diversity. Saturating all is a divinity. So one has to understand that, it's not just, it's behind all things, there is this one. And we are all that individualized. Out of many, really, we're just one. We are all love and God in action. Do we see all people of all races, all cultures, as God and love in action? We have to make sure that our view is right. Michael, you used your example of the window, right? Use that this service, right? I missed the announcements. Okay. So you know how Michael was talking about looking, it wasn't the neighbor's laundry that was dirty, it was the way I was looking at it, right? That was his little joke that was really cute. It's our perception of people. But if we were to look at people and recognize that they're all coming from the one place, and I know some people think of the devil when they think of that. They think, oh no, that person can't be of God. They're just mean. They're evil. No. It's all coming from the very best thing that they can be. So, behind all unity is that one. Buddha and Jesus taught this, and we learned this in Science of Mind. They understood that the universe has to be one if it's going to be anything at all. We know what division does. We know what separation does. So even the great spiritual teachers are saying, look, we have to recognize our oneness with everything. And America, I'm trying to do a little Science of Mind in America. America is founded on a spiritual principle of oneness. As one nation, we are stronger than individual states. As one nation, we are strong. As individual states, there's some little states out there, right? Connecticut's a little state. And look at us. But together, we need each other. We become stronger as a nation. So America is founded on that principle that as the United States, as a collective, we're much stronger. And that unity is the same thing. Understood that the universe has to be one if it's going to be at all. In Mark in Scripture, we read this: a house divided against itself cannot stand. Interesting that Abraham Lincoln used that. Abraham Lincoln used the same words of Jesus to support the idea of ending slavery, yet preserving the nation. It was time something evolved and a change was made. And he stood on a spiritual principle that divided we fall. And you know what? I mean, it's no secret that right now this nation and a lot of people in the different countries, we feel divided. And how are we going to bring each other back? Because spiritually, this is a spiritual quandary that we're in, right? But there's a spiritual solution to everything. There can't be anything that doesn't have a spiritual solution. So we're all looking at individuals to bring about the solution when the solution is much bigger than the individuals. Does this make sense? All right? So in preserving the nation, he changed a culture and yet preserved the nation. Things are happening right now that a culture is changing. Now you may agree or disagree with what's happening. That's not the issue. The issue is everything evolves for its highest good eventually. It just takes time to get there. Next thing, together please. Love is the greatest healing power in the universe. It's the only thing that binds people together in a community of spirit. Love is the greatest healing thing that's going to bind us together through this. As a country, our darkest hours are those when we forget the principle of diversity. And our country's finest hours are when we focus on what is best about our country. You know, it's really easy to fall into conversations about what's going on in our world, what's going on in our country. It's very easy to fall into the dialogue. But the problem is we're not focusing on the things that are working, we're only focusing on the things that appear not to be working. That's not the spiritual solution. The spiritual solution is not to sit there and dwell upon things that don't work. What do we talk about in the Science of Mind? What you dwell about, you bring about. So if all we're talking about are conflict and problems, should we expect? More of what? Conflict and problems. You're not talking about a resolution, you're going to be talking about continuing the consciousness that created it. Does this make sense? All right. For my life to be the way I desire it to be, in my mind, for America to be the country it is meant to be, for our world to be the home to where everyone everybody can flourish and thrive, we need to have a greater passion about a mightier perception of our individual and collective lives. We have to transcend the communication in our world. We have to look above it. I have a loft in my house, and sometimes I say to myself, if I could just stand up in my loft and look down on something with a different perspective, how would it change? The way we're going to be able to change what's going on in the world today is we're going to have to look at it from a different perspective. We have to have a greater trust in the universe to work things out and not worry about the details of how it's getting worked out. Now, there may be discomfort in the working out of the details, right? Has anyone ever passed a kidney stone? There's discomfort in working out that detail. But once it's gone and worked out, okay, I feel better now. We're just passing a giant kidney stone, right? We're just all going through growing pains. We're all things will be better but we have to go through this process. And it doesn't matter what side you're on, this is process. Stop looking at it as side and look at it as process. As Americans, we can look at this as process. It's tough because sometimes we just want to take sides, but that's not going to fix anything. That's just taking sides. Taking sides is not unity, that's division. Are you getting me? As long as there is a foremost in our minds of the idea of you and me, them and us, how will we ever realize and come to the one, the God self? As long as there's an us and a them, as long as there's division, how do we come to the one? We do it. We're looking at other people to do it when we're the ones having the basic vibration and dialogue right here in our home places, in our workplaces, in our social communities. We're the ones who set the table for this universal shift. And I know you're like, well, what can I do? What you're doing isn't working because people are complaining. Is that working? When you complain, what does the universe give you? More reasons to complain. Have you been engaged in conversations where they just seem to multiply into multiple complaints? Does that mean we're part of the solution? As long as we feel separated and isolated, we will experience sectarianism, partisanship, and segregation. As long as we stay divided, this is the end result. And these are the things that we're experiencing. As long as we stay in that consciousness, this is what we'll experience. And the problem is, segregation of any kind will eventually bring about the experience of violence. In violence, we forget who we are and what we are, and it is likely to cause us to sink into the despair of conflict. Violence, anger, whether it be outward violence or verbal, right? That is the lowest vibration of healing ever, because there's no healing vibration in conflict. It is the lowest form of communication. If we want to improve our communication between another and between our states and our country and our communities and all that, we can't go into that place where there is verbal, mental, emotional violence. That is the lowest form of communication. How can we expect the highest form to unfold when people are using some of the lowest forms of communication? If we're using the lowest form, what should we expect to unfold? The lowest form. For every cause, there is an effect. It is in direct relationship and direct proportion to the belief system around it. So when we're attached to this dialogue, that's not going to fix anything. Together, please. Love is the greatest healing power in the universe. It's the only thing that binds people together in a community of spirit. The recognition of the oneness of infinite life is the answer. And the working out of the answer is by healing our own thoughts of separation, conflict, and the idea of the different other in our own minds and hearts. The resolution of the different other. Let me talk to you about the different other. I'll give you an example. Growing up in Michigan, as a closeted little gay boy, I was the different other. I was the different other. I'm really putting that out there, aren't I? I was the different other. And it wasn't until I found a community that accepted me for being who I am that I felt like I had a sense of belonging to something. But don't you see, we're all different others. I can go through this room and point to each one of you, and I will find out your otherness. Whether it's ageism or sexism or racism, whatever it is, everybody has some sort of an isms. Lack of a budgetism. I don't care what you want to call it. All of us have. So you know what? We need to learn how to accept the different otherness of people. Until we can heal the otherness coming into unity as one, we will always have these conflicts. It's the acceptance of that different other. Are you accepting the different others, or are you labeling them, have a perception about them, and laying down your belief system and throwing down a gauntlet and saying, I'm not going to buy into that. This is who they are. What are you doing? What are we doing? It calls to question. I'm calling you to question how you're communicating with your own mind and your own thoughts and perceptions. One of the first things to do is to love. Dr. Holmes said this. One of the first things to do is to love everybody. If you haven't done this, begin to do so at once. That's hard when people piss you off. Anybody? That's hard when I don't agree with them. It's hard when they're not like me. It's hard when they're different. It's hard when they have different religions. It's hard when they come from different cultures. Sometimes, but you know what? What are we being called to do? Accepting the different otherness of those people. I don't have to pal around with them, but I do have to accept them and love them as the God self-expressing. Sometimes it'll drive you nuts. And you're going to be called to the basis of your own spiritual foundation to find the good in everyone. Sometimes I've nailed it, or I put it down just to nail polish is the only thing I can find that I like. But there's one thing, and I'm going to find it, I'm going to focus on it. Whatever it is, I'm going to focus on it than the other exterior and appearances of things. Because everybody's got their own facade up. Everybody's got their other differentness disguised in some sort of defense mechanism, in some sort of a mental shield. Our job is to look beyond that and see from the core that that person is love of God expressing. There is always more good than bad in people. And seeing the good in them brings that forward. There's always more good than bad. And there's always more people that I feel good about than people I feel bad about. But for some reason, the people I feel bad about have my attention all the time. Anyone? So this is something we have to bring a change about ourselves. Dr. Moyer Fox wrote this in relation to this, and it's just something I wanted to share with you to that phrase. The history of America is a story of increasing diversity of races and cultures. The history, Dr. Moyer Fox is a friend of mine. She's the minister, the spiritual director in Redondo, by the way. The history of, quote, all men are created equal, that they are endowed with their creator and certain unalienable rights, and among them are life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness, come from the Declaration of Independence, is a history of laws and prevailing doctrines as increasing inclusion, not exclusion. Quote, all men in the 1770s meant that all white landowners are created equal. In 1770, those were your facts. Okay? All men came to include African Americans, women, and more recently those whose sexual identity appears different from historical norms. Even today, those with darker skin do not have the same equality as those with white skin. Women struggle to achieve equality, especially in their work life. Those whose sexual identity challenges accepted norms are not always treated equally. And I go further to say that everyone in this room, in some way, shape, or form, feels some form of discrimination. Whether it's age, whatever it is. But in 1770, that's what these words meant. And over the course of time, those words began to include other people. right? Did it happen overnight? Did it happen without a struggle? Did it happen without some sort of a challenge? No, because we know that all change comes about a lot of times in a painful way. It doesn't come across nicely. Sometimes it does hurt, but it eventually makes itself there. So can we possibly, just possibly, take a look and say, hey, maybe this is just the evolution of something that dates way back, that evolved, that still has the culture of inclusion around it. That doesn't mean there may not be steps back. I may take 3 steps forward, 1 step back, 4 steps forward, 1 step back, but guess where I'm going? I'm always heading in that direction. It may not be the process or the timeline that I set, but when have I set a timeline that God met anyway? Anyone? All right, are you guys getting with me? But we're moving in the direction of all men are created equal. It is, however, our movement steady enough, strong enough, and fast enough. I would say a lot of times it doesn't feel like it's that way. Purely by the dialogues that we're having. Does this make sense? Each one of us must answer this question by looking into our own lives. That over there, or them out there, is not how advancement happens. Each one of us is the one the world is waiting for. You are it, and so am I. For change to happen, I have to change. For change to happen, you have to change. When is the last time, now don't answer this, when is the last time you did a random act of kindness for someone that you expected nothing in return, but you did something just because you were doing it as a thoughtful, random act of kindness? There's 200 and some people in this room right now. There were 100 people in the room at the first service. So that's 300 and some people. If 300 people went out into our community this week, and I said, your challenge for each individual, not a married couple, you don't get to pair up, each individual is to do some random act of kindness for someone else without any acknowledgement, without them knowing about it. What happens if 300 people did that to 300 other people? And what if those other 300 people got the message and then they passed it along and then they did something? Suddenly the core group of 300 becomes 900 people who've conducted a random act of kindness. What kind of impact would we have if we shifted that? Are you with me? Together, please. Love is the greatest healing power in the universe. It's the only thing that binds people together in a community of spirit. America and all of creation is continually reinventing itself, which is according to natural law. In science of mind, creation is eternally going on. America is continually reinventing itself, which is according to natural law. So this is all part of a reinvention process for all of us. There were conversations held in churches many, many years ago so that women could vote, so that African Americans could vote, could be part of it. It was part of an evolution. It was part of a reinvention. This is no different. We're just reinventing. Stop the panic and go into reinvention mode. Stop the dialogue and go into a reframing mode. It's hard to do because it seems so prevalent. But the only reason it's prevalent is because we're allowing low-level conversations to take precedent over what's spiritually unfolding. Are you there? You're going, oh my God, he's full of crap. There is a need for us to create a new culture, a culture of one world, one heart, one body, one soul. A culture wherein we can get together and be all right, where we can give peace a chance and where the world can be as one. That's what we can do. People are saying, well, what can I do? You can begin to be part of a culture in your own home, with your own family and your own friends, where you are the conduit to the conversation, where we are giving peace a chance, where everybody is all right at the table, where we don't have to say things about other cultures or people to separate us. Perhaps it's the time wherein the portal is open for this to happen. What if, I'm going long, sorry. What if this really is the portal to the reinvention process? What if this is the opening that the universe has been calling forward to bring even more love and compassion and healing energy into the world? What if this is that time? What if? What if you looked at it that way? How would that change your body, your mind, your feeling, your emotions? What if this is that time? What America could use now is a great bout of good old-fashioned neighborliness. We love our neighbor as we love ourselves, as we love God. We could just go back to, hey, you know what? What if we just went all back to being nice? What would happen if you were just nice? What would happen if we just... Now, that doesn't ignore the fact that there's some stuff going on out there that doesn't feel so nice, but what about you? What about you? What about you bringing the nice back into your world and in your neighborhood and in your homes? What about you expressing yourself that way instead of feeling like you have to be on the offense or the defense of a position? What if you could just be nice? Anyone? Perhaps we could start with goodwill to all and do no harm. America can indeed become the greatest place to be, but only when it becomes the most loving place to be. Becoming the most loving place. And each one of us has a personal spiritual stake in that plan unfolding. Each one of us has a personal assignment given to us because why? Because you were born. Because it is our spiritual responsibility as humans having this spiritual experience to acknowledge our responsibility to be that change. It's not up to anyone else but us. We can't change that. We do, or at least I do. I trust and have faith that America is always marching toward a more equal culture and a more equal application of law and justice. It may not look the way I think it should look, and sometimes I sit in deep silence when I'm around people who have dissent around that issue and have opinions about that. But I have to sit in deep silence in my faith as I sing, I surrender all to myself, as I put all that opinion into the basket to be blown away. Because I have to surrender it instead of holding on to that opinion, because it's very easy to hold on to it and become part of it. I can't become part of that. I have to know by standing in my loft, looking down, there is a bigger thing unfolding here and I'm going to be a part of it. If we're willing to move our feet, there is no end to the good we can realize, the success we can achieve. One people opening way for one world with liberty and justice for all. But you're it. You and I, we're it. That's it. Together, please. Love is the greatest healing power in the universe. It's the only thing that binds people together in a community of spirit. Happy Independence Day, everyone. Thank you.
I can't think of a better way to begin this holiday with that inspiration. Okay, this is the time there we do our offerings, so I'd like to invite the ushers to come forward. And I just want to express the gratitude of our center for all that you give to us, because you really do allow us to keep things open all year round and to be able to provide you with spiritual inspiration and love and support. So we thank you, and I thank the live streamers as well. There is a place for you on your screen to give a love offering, and you can see you can text your tithe. You can give in any way, shape, or form around here. Okay, so now that we're ready, we streamlined our offertory prayer, so let's put the first one up. Let's say together, I give my offering with gratitude as I recognize the demonstration of Spirit's generosity in all areas of my life.
I release and I let go. Let the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Release and I let go. Let the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. Yes, I'm only here for God.
Oh, thank you. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and bless this bounty of good as it circulates out into the world. So let's say together, this collective offering is spirit in action. As it circulates into the universe, it touches and blesses many lives, including my own. And so it is. Thank you, Steve. Well, this is the part of the service where we like to welcome those who are attending services for the very first time. So if this is your first time here, please stand up. I swear you won't have to talk or say a word. Just stand up so we can give you a gift. Stand up. We've got some people over here. We'd like to welcome you to our center. This is a really great place to be. We are a place where it's all about love and giving and supporting and just getting into our spiritual depth and maturity. So we're grateful you're here. After services, if you'd like to go out into the lobby area to the desk, they will give you a CD of one of Dr. Joe's talks, and we'll sign you up for email, whatever you'd like. We just welcome you with open arms, so we're grateful you're here today. Following services, we have our practitioners and ministers in the Om Room, which is just right across the way. If you need prayer, whether you're going through something challenging or something wonderful is sprouting up and you just want some affirmation around it, they are there for you. They're the most loving people you will find, and it only takes a minute to bless you, so join them if you need be. And our calendar for the week, as you know, Tuesday we are closed, and we've got Paul's midweek heart opening service, 6:30 p.m. in the Om Room. I encourage you to go. It's fabulous. We've also got Thursday, My Sacred Circle at 10 a.m., or it's actually 9 a.m., not 10. And we've got Soul Sisters in the evening, and Michael and I have our class starting too, so you can join us for that. And Saturday is a meditation practice, which is really wonderful if you want to just do a meditation. And we've also got an AA group on Friday night. Okay, I think I've said all I'm supposed to say, except for thank you. That's the last thing on my list is thank you for all of you who are here today. Because if you weren't here, we wouldn't be doing this. And what we're doing here is elevating the consciousness individually and collectively of our spiritual depth, our magnificence, and the goodness of God as it's unfolding. So I thank you for being here. I'd like to thank, there's only a few of our musicians left, the musicians and our singers for all the beauty that they've given to us. Barry's got CDs. Woo! Barry has CDs out if you want to buy. We already talked about what those are, and they're out in the patio area or the outside of the sanctuary. I'd like to thank the guys in the back that make this thing happen seamlessly and effortlessly, keeping us lit and dark and everything functioning right. I'd like to thank the office people, Steve and Julie and Elizabeth, for doing everything and anything that they have to do to keep things rolling. Thank you. And live. Most of all, I'd like to thank Dr. Joe because you know what? He is the action. He is the inspiration that keeps all of us moving forward and keeping us uplifted and making this center what it is today. So I'd like to give a big shout out to him. Wow. Right on. And then the practitioners and ministers that just hold up this entire place through spirit, through knowing. Thank you. Well, I think it's time to pray. So I invite you to just close your eyes and join me in prayer. Will you noodle for me, by the way? I'd love to have something going on in the background musically. Thank you. There we go. So as we just stand in this beautiful place of God, feeling the energy of spirit, knowing that we are one in mind, one in the heart and body of God, all of us together. There is no us and them. There is only one. There is we, because we are one in our humanity and our spirituality. And so today, as we stand on the threshold of Independence Day, so grateful for the principles that our forefathers brought forward and put into the fabric of our society, of our country: life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And so in this melting pot of America that we are, so many individualized expressions of the one Spirit. This week, we look differently upon our brothers and sisters. Instead of seeing differences, we see oneness. We see the one power of Spirit expressing through all beings. We don't see color, we don't see race, we don't see religion, we see God. And so we open up our hearts, we soften our hearts, let go of the old beliefs that we held about people and what they look like. And we go to what they feel like. They feel like Spirit. And so that is what our eyes are seeing this week. As we do good works, as we give love, as we know truth and stand in that truth and celebrate with gratitude our independence, and that we live in a place where we can be free. And so we honor that freedom for all beings. Everybody deserves that, and so we honor that. And so I am knowing that this Independence Day, we are blessed tenfold, as we know that Spirit is in the process of progression, of evolution. And so we stop focusing our eyes on the little things, and we go to the big picture. We go to, this is God in action, and I don't need to know what that looks like or is. I just trust in Spirit's ways, knowing that Spirit's beauty and love and grace and the equality for all people is now unfolding and demonstrating in amazing ways. And so I'm grateful for that. And so knowing that all is unfolding this week and every day of our lives in its right and perfect way, through the grace of God, through divine right action and order, I let go, I let it be, as we say together, and so it is. Amen. Have a wonderful week, everybody. God bless all of you.
Ain't no mountain high, ain't no